There are many people out there who believe a number of myths about gender and sexuality, and we're constantly having to deal with these myths on a regular basis. So for this episode of Stacy Links Presents, I'm going to debunk a number of myths related to gender and sexuality. I'll be right back. Alright, so welcome to my channel. I'm Stacy, and in this episode of Stacy Links Presents, I'm going to debunk a number of myths about gender and sexuality. I have 8 points that I'm going to talk about in this episode. I'm going to explain what the myth is, and then I'm going to explain what the fact is. But first, before I get started, what I'll get you to do if you're new to this channel and you're a member of the LGBTQIA+ community or otherwise just an ally, make sure you go down below in this video and hit that subscribe button. I have playlists with videos on my fashion, jewelry, makeup routines, tips and tricks, and product reviews that you would love to see. Plus, I'm doing advocacy for the LGBTQIA+ community and documenting my transition as a solo parent. Also, just to let you know, all my original music is now linked to my YouTube channel, as well as all of my original music videos and my cover videos as well. So make sure you go and check them all out. And also, if you're not following me on any of these social platforms, make sure you go down below in this video and check the links in the description and go follow me on those places. Alright, so the first point that I want to talk about is the myth that gender is based on biological sex, and that can be further from the truth. Gender is actually psychological and social. Gender is actually rooted in the brain in an area called the hypothalamus. We'll get more into that later in this episode, but gender is definitely not based on your biological sex. There are so many other factors too that play into a person's gender identity. Another myth that a lot of people believe is that gender is strictly binary, only man or woman. And that is definitely false too. Gender, we know from psychology, is a spectrum. It's like the color spectrum. You know, it's not just black and white. There's shades of gray in the middle there, you know, different colors, you know, going from one end to the other. And many of us, like me, we live on that spectrum. So basically our gender expressions, our gender thoughts even can swing back and forth sometimes. And that leads me into myth number 3, is that gender is fixed and cannot change. Maybe for some people it's fixed, but for some of us, as I mentioned in the previous point, because gender is a spectrum, you know, some of us shift back and forth on that spectrum. So definitely no, gender is not a fixed, you know, single point thing, where a person's gender expression and gender presentation can shift back and forth. And even cis people can live on the gender spectrum as well. You know, there are some men out there that aren't exactly the most masculine. There's some women out there that aren't exactly the most feminine. You know, we can't judge a person based on the mix of their gender identity or expression. So, and then that leads me into point number 4, where people believe that we can choose our gender or sexuality. Well, no, not exactly. You can't choose to be trans as much as you can choose to be gay. We just are, you know. And it seems like some people out there who are supposedly straight try to claim that they chose to be straight. Obviously they chose to be straight because maybe inside they're secretly gay. Who knows? But our gender and sexuality is built into our hypothalamus. It is an area of the brain that's right in the center, and it joins the left and right hemispheres. It's directly connected to the adrenal gland, which is the gland that produces the majority of hormones in your body, short of your primary sex hormone. And your hypothalamus becomes fully developed between the ages of 3 and 7. I knew at age 5 that something was different about me compared to other boys and girls. So I guess that sort of leads us into point 5, where children are unable to identify their gender or sexuality. Well, as I mentioned, the hypothalamus is the seat of gender and sexuality. They're not connected. However, we do discover between the ages of 3 and 7, so during that period, is when we will start to discover that maybe we're different than other kids. All right, so then that leads me into myth number 6, is that all trans people are straight or heterosexual, following an idea that, trans women like me transition just so we can go after men, cisgender straight men. Sure, there are straight binary trans women out there, but not all of us are straight. Those like me, I'm a lesbian. I'm not attracted to men. I would much rather be with a woman, and a feminine woman too. I'm a femme attracted to femmes. So that's what I mean, is your sexuality doesn't change for me being on HRT. So I've always been attracted to women. I will continue to be attracted to women. Hence this flag up behind me. All right, so point number 7, we start moving into more serious myths about gender, is that gender affirming care is just a phase that we go through and that we eventually will grow out of it. No. Gender affirming care is health care. It's life-saving. It basically keeps us from wanting to kill ourselves. So without it, I probably wouldn't be here. I would probably be dead. So yeah, it's not a fad. It's not a phase. It's not something that's cool to do. Obviously, why would you choose this life? If it was a choice, why would you choose it? I know I wouldn't, but I was born this way. I have no choice. And now last, most certainly not least, this is probably the most damaging myth about trans and LGBT people, is how some people think that we are highly sexual and that we are willing to commit SA. Excuse me? No. Like, we know who's committing the SAs. Sure as hell ain't us. So maybe people should be looking to their conservative Christian pastors and conservative youth groups, and might be a better place to start. Alright, so thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button down below and drop a comment. Tell me about an experience you've had where you've had to defend yourself against one of these or any other myth for being an LGBT person. I'd love to hear your stories. And also, once again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be back again, and you can go check out all my back episodes, and I'll see you next time. Bye!